Hello and welcome to JURISPRUDENCE channel. In this video, you will get to know about the important topics under paper 2 for law subject, and I will be doing unit-wise analysis so that it could be easy for you to do the last minute preparation. So let's begin. First unit is jurisprudence, under which schools of jurisprudence is quite an important concept. You might be already done with the different types of schools and their ideologies with their important proponents. But still, if you are revising this concept, just place a special focus on Austin, Hart, Savigny, Roscoe-Pound theories and the criticisms which they have faced, because this is the area from which at least 1 to 2 questions will be asked. Second topic is Hofeld theory of juror relations, under which you must be aware about the juror correlatives and juror opposites, because this is the area which is being frequently asked in the NET exam. Third one is the relationship between law and morality, under which place a special focus on the Hart and Fuller debate. Next one is the jurist and their publications. You know the jurist, their books, and together with the year has been frequently asked in the NET exam, so just prepare it as well. Next one is the theories related to the legal rights. So you must be aware about the will theory and the interest theory, who had propounded it, and together with that just also go through the classification of rights. After this, just go through theories of punishment and theories of legal personality. This is the most simple part of jurisprudence, so just go through it and try to remember the different theories. Last one is the global justice. So just understand that what is the importance of global justice, or what is the concept of global justice, and what are its primary approaches, and who are the important propounders if someone has given the theory, and if there is any kind of books they have published, you can also go through them. Second unit is constitution. You know this subject, the more you read the less it will be, right? So let's start with the preamble. Right, so what you should do is just be thorough over the preamble language, how many amendments have been done, and what are the important case laws with respect to the preamble, right? So this is a must step for you. Second topic is Article 30. This is also like most important article if I talk about NET exam, right? So be thorough over this article, right? Just go through all the 3 clauses and just also try to remember the important doctrines, right? Like doctrine of eclipse, severability and judicial review, and together with that just also remember the important case laws. Okay, then next one is the Article 12. Article 12 speaks about state. So apart from going through the bare provisions, just also remember the important case laws, and out of the case law you must remember that how many institutes or bodies are there who have been declared to be state and non-state also, right? After this, be thorough over the principles of proportionality, right? Especially the case laws. If I talk about the case laws, there is this Anuradha Bhasin case is there, K.S. Puttaswamy case is there, so which has applied this principle of proportionality. Then there comes the reservation. So you must be aware about the articles of reservation, like Articles 15 and 16 is there. What is the difference between them? Which clause was added by which amendment? And of course, together with that, there are set of important case laws which we have seen in the recent years also. So you must be aware of that as well. And it's needless to say that you have to be well equipped with the fundamental rights which is given under the part 3, since you must be going through this part from your LLB times. So you must be well acquainted with the fundamental rights. So what you should do is just go through the bare act language, right? And together with that, like which article was borrowed from which country. Like if I talk about Article 14 is there, Article 19 is most crucial article under the Constitution, and then we do have Article 32, Article 21, right? So you must be aware about each and every fundamental rights, and together with that just also go through the landmark judgments, right? You don't have to be keep updated regarding the recent judgment, but yes, it's very important that you must be aware about the landmark judgments, right? The next one is the DPSP and the fundamental duties. So for this, I will just only recommend you to go through the bare act provisions and just try to remember the articles, right? And which article or which clause was added by which amendment. Then there comes Article 74. This has been frequently asked in the NET exam, so you must also go through this article as well. Then there comes the legislative procedure of bills. So for this, you should know that what is the procedure of passing the bills, or what bills cannot be introduced in Rajya Sabha together with their articles. You need not to remember the case laws with that respect, right? Only knowing the articles will do the purpose. Next comes the constitutional bodies. So you must be aware about their articles and their tenures. Together with that, you must also know their appointment and the resignation procedure. Next is the judiciary. So under this, you must be aware about the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court and the High Court, and who appoints CJI, what is the appointment procedure of Chief Justice of High Court, right? What are their resignation procedure? And after that, just go through articles 139A to 144, and I will recommend you to go through the Bare Act provision, not more than that. Next comes the relations between union and state. You know the importance of Article 245 and 246, right, and the judicial doctrines which has been envisaged under these articles. So just be thorough over them. After this, just go through from Article 248 to 254, just the Bare Act language. It will do the purpose. Next comes the special provisions for certain classes. For this also just go through the Bare Act language from Articles 338 to 342A. The next topic is languages. So you must be aware about the official language of Union, language of Supreme Court, High Courts, and how many languages are scheduled. And together with that, just also remember their year of addition to the Constitution. Next comes the emergency provisions. You must be aware about the 3 emergencies, right? So together with that, just also remember their tenure and what is the procedure for imposing these emergencies. Then there comes the temporary transition and the special procedure. So for this, just try to remember the chronology of the states according to their articles arranged under the Constitution. Next is Article 368, very important article. So for that, what you have to do is just try to remember all cases, right from Shankari Prasad to I.R. Kolo, right, and try to remember their year and what was exactly held in those cases. Next is the schedules. Of course, each and every schedule given under the Indian Constitution, they are important. And together with that, just also go through the items which has been listed under Schedule 11 and Schedule 12. Last but not the least, the comprehension based questions. Of course, this is a must come question. So for that, I have listed some of the case laws which you can go through. Then under second unit, administrative law is also covered. So for this, just go through the important definitions of admin law and just go through the natural justice principles, including the types of bias and what are the 5 grounds of judicial review. Unit 3 is public international law and humanitarian law. So for this, just go through the important definitions of international law, especially given by the Oppenheim or Briley, right? Then we have de jure and de facto recognition. So know its concept and the difference between them. Then next one is the nationality and statelessness. So this is also the important part of PIL and it is also important for the NET exam as well. Next is the UN Charter. So for UN Charter, what you must do is just properly go through Article 2 that describes about the purpose and principles of UN. So that is the utmost important provision, right? Then next is just have a bare reading from Articles 9 to 38. Then next we have is Statute of ICJ. This is also the important part of PIL. Under this, Article 38 is very important. Together with this, just know the jurisdiction of ICJ and what are its composition and together with that tenure. Then there comes the WTO. WTO is also very important. So just try to have a comparative study between WTO and GATT, and together with that also try to remember that how many WTO ministerial conferences are being held till date, and if you can also remember, just also try to make a note of the year, right, in which these conferences were held. Next is the important case laws. So under PIL, there are certain case laws which keeps on repeating for most of the times, right? And I have already made video on this topic as well. So you can check its video by visiting the link given in the description box. So do check it and know the case laws. Now the last one is the IHL, which is International Humanitarian Law. So under this, what you have to do is just simply go through the 4 Geneva Conventions of 1949 with their important provisions, and just also have a bare reading of its additional protocols. Fourth unit is IPC. So this is also one of the core subject and very much important for the NET exam. Please note that nothing is exempted from given syllabus. You have to cover each and every topic which is given in the syllabus. And the concepts which I have mentioned before you, they are the most important ones which you shouldn't miss before taking the exam. right? So go through the offenses which I have mentioned before you and try to remember their imprisonment as well. Now lastly, that apart from the landmark judgments, you must also go through the recent cases as well, and out of which we have mentioned before you, which is Aparna Bhatt versus State of MP, Balwir Singh case, Subaid Ali, Stalin versus State, and the Gurmeet Singh cases there. Next unit is torts and consumer protection, but I have divided this unit into 3 parts. If I talk about torts, so you can go through each and every concept which I have mentioned before you. This is almost the syllabus completion, right? Specifically, I would strongly recommend you to go through the case laws, right? Because they are very much important. And in any way, just don't ignore the general defenses given under the tort. Lastly is the motor vehicle. Motor vehicle, of course, the amendment is there, right? But if I talk about the syllabus portion, chapter 10, 11 and 12 is only covered under your syllabus, and for that the new amendment has not been notified yet, yeah, right? So please note this point. Next comes the consumer protection, which is also a part of unit 5. And as you know that the Consumer Protection Act 2019 has already replaced the old act, under which you must go through the definitions of consumer and the consumer rights specifically, and just try to know the institutions which are involved under the consumer protection, right? And for this act, I have already made a video which you can check from the description box. Last is the Competition Act 2002. So this is also a part of Unit 5. Under this act, you must go through the 3 concepts, which are anti-competitive agreements, abuse of dominant position, and the combination. So for them, what you have to do is just go through the Bare Act provision right from section 3 to section 6. Apart from these sections, you can also go through the corresponding sections like how they have been regulated by the CCI. And for that, just go through section 19, 20 and from 26 to 31. It will serve the purpose. Thank you for watching this video. Do like and share this video with your friends, and do subscribe JURISPRUDENCE channel to get the further updates.